Hello. Hope you guys are doing well and enjoying the springtime. It's been very nice out. Um, Mother's Day, it's coming up very, very fast. So, what we're going to be doing this week is we're going to be giving you guys a couple of projects that you guys can do to create little Mother's Day gifts. So, moms, go away. We don't want you. So, today we're going to talk about a couple of different ways, more ways that we can make paper flowers. These little 8-point guys. We're going to start with those. So I'm just going to talk about the way that I did these ones, but you guys can alternate them for the age level that you're working with or just how creative you want to get with it as well. So for me, I started with an 8x8 square, and then I measured out a 1/2 inch on the top and on the bottom. And then what I do is I take an open pair of scissors like this and a ruler, and I just run them along the side. I just kind of perforate them so that way my paper then looks like this, and then I can tear those strips off as I need them. I like to be organized a little bit while I work, so that way it's not so chaotic. But from that, if you have an 8x8 square and you do 1/2 inch strips, then you can get 4 flowers out of one of those squares. So that's kind of nice. So I break those into 4 strips, and then I fold those in half. So I kind of create a little cluster of them. So I fold them in half because then I'm going to put a little dab of glue in the center and then create a little X with them. So I do that for 2 of them because there's 4 to make 1 flower. And then I just take another dot, really just a dot. You don't need a whole lot of glue. I think they say in school, a little dab will do ya. So that's all you need, is a little dab. And then you make a little 8-point asterisk. You just kind of line those 2 X's up to make an 8-point asterisk. We'll let that one dry a little bit. So from there, you're just going to bring all of your little legs into the center. Okay, so you're just going to do a little dab, just a dot, and then bring those, here, we'll start with these. Bring these 2 sides in and press down. So you just do opposites and then meet them in the center. And you just do that all the way around till you get all 8 of your points in, and then let that set, let that dry, let the glue set up before you start to play around with them. But once you get done with those, you can do a little circle piece of paper and put those in the center. You can write on the center part too if you want to. You can draw a little heart in there or write mom. You can also use a button. So I just did a little button on there. If you are really impatient and you don't want to wait for the glue to dry, you can always use hot glue, okay? So for these, what you can do with them is you can design a piece of paper. You can use watercolor, crayon, marker, whatever, and you can glue the flowers to that and make kind of a dimensional card. Or if you have pipe cleaners or some sort of wiring, you can add those to it and make it a stem, and then it's more of a sculptural piece that you can put into like a vase or something. So we'll talk about some vases tomorrow, but so I just have a wire stem, and I'm just going to curl the end of it just a little bit, just to give me some surface area. So just some surface area like that. And then I will just attach it underneath the button. So I will put my hot glue in the center, lay my stem down to where it falls. I'm going to add a little bit more hot glue just to coat the top of it, and then lay my button down on top. You can also do it onto the back if you want to do it onto the back. We'll let that set before I hold it up, but you can kind of see it's attached the wire to there. So then it'll just sit in a little vase. You can make a couple of those. Our next one is going to be a tulip that we make. So what we start out with is a teardrop shape. So you fold a paper in half and then cut out half a teardrop. And then when you unfold it, you get, or it's like a giant guitar pick. That's a good way of looking at it. Like a giant guitar pick. And then you're going to cut out 3 of those. So on the 2 sides, you're going to fold 2 of these in half. I think you guys can kind of start to see what I'm doing here. Yeah? So fold 2 of those giant guitar pick shaped papers. And then we are going to glue them onto the one that we didn't fold, so it looks like a tulip there. So here's my finished one. And then on these, you guys can write on there. It can be a little card. You can write in those. With that, you can also add it to a piece of paper. If you want it to be just a flat thing or an interactive card. Or you can attach 2 together, and then you can have it be where it can set up, or you can add a stem to it like we did with this one, and you can create 2 halves like this, put the stem in the center, and then attach them together so that way your stem runs down the center like that, and it can be in a bouquet too. Oh, so many possibilities, so many ways to play around with these really simple flowers. Okay, so I'm just going to run through these again. So we have 8-point asterisks that we can make and then fold those in for our flower shape. Add a stem if you want to. Add a button in the center if you want to. Perfect, right? Then we have giant guitar pick that we cut out by folding it in half, opening it up, cutting out 3 papers, folding 2 of them, attaching them together in a tulip shape. It can be a 2-sided, it can be 1, it could be flat. All right, got it. Okay, so I want to see what you guys make. Share what you guys create. Tag the Quincy Art Center at Quincy Art Center. Have a blast with this one. I want to see you guys get creative with these. You can do these with ribbon if you want to. I like using different materials, so I'm constantly like, oh, you can make this out of paper. Can I do this out of fabric? Can I do this out of some other material? So play around with that. You can play around with design, play around with color, play around with shape. You can make squiggly lines. You guys don't have to do this guitar pick shape. You guys can add other elements to it. So have fun, be creative, and share what you guys make, and have a really, really, really great day.